born a god, crowned a child. This is the tragedy of Puyi. The last emperor of China. He became emperor before he understood the word, a toddler on a throne, carried through halls he never chose. The palace was his whole universe, a kingdom of walls, servants, and rituals built to convince a child he was a god. But gods don't rattle doors, children do. And as he grew, the forbidden city began to feel less like a palace and more like a cage. He was still a child when the outside world finally stepped into his prison. Not with armies or crowds, but with a single foreign tutor and a box of books. Through maps and stories, Puyi met a China he did not rule, and a world that did not worship him. They called him the Son of Heaven. But he was the last to learn how small his empire had become. Years later, the boy in the cage was called back to the stage. Japan did not need a ruler. It needed a sacred mask for its empire in Manchuria. They crowned Puyi emperor again, this time over a land he did not own and a government he did not control. On paper, he was emperor once more. In reality, every decision was made by the men standing behind his throne. To the world, he was the last emperor of China. To the men around him, he was just a costume they could take off at any time. The empire that used him began to crumble, and the emperor tried to run. He tried to flee as an emperor. He was caught as just another man. They stripped away the titles, the robes, the throne. What was left was a man who had never lived his own life. In prison, he slept on hard beds, ate the same food as everyone else, and listened to lectures instead of praise. Day after day, the former Son of Heaven swept courtyards and sat in classrooms, forced to face the one thing he had never been taught to handle: himself. You will not be handed a throne, and that is your greatest advantage. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to crown you. Good. You weren't meant to be chosen. You were meant to choose yourself. He was born at the top and never learned how to climb. You're starting at the ground with nothing but your decisions. He had a crown and stayed in a cage. You have no crown, and all the doors are open. What you become is on you.